I got a cracked pipe. And the way we realized this was the pressure off the well was low. So when we would wash our hands or take a shower, you notice the pressure was down. So I knew something was up, but I could not find it. So we used troubleshooting techniques, you know, isolate, cut off, sectionalize, all that stuff. I think I'm gonna make a bunch of videos on how to actually troubleshoot the stuff. Most of the time I have no idea what I'm doing. I watch a few videos and I do some troubleshooting. So we found this one, this crack right here by, I couldn't see it. When I walked out here eventually, a day later, I saw the water coming out, so it was pretty bad. The lightning hit somewhere near us, and I guess cracked the pipe somehow. I don't know. Such a weird thing, but I swear that lightning popped right on top of me. Anyway, pipe is cracked right down there. I'll show you guys in a minute. I'm gonna clean this up a whole lot better. But the troubleshooting aspect of it was cut off the water to the house from the well. Is it still burbling? Yes. Okay, so it's not, we have, our well goes to a filtration system, so it's not the filtration system. It's not something linked over here. I cut off the water to the garage, and it was still burbling. So like, okay, we know we did some sprinkler work. I did not record where everything went. So my wife said, hey, why don't you turn the sprinkler system off? I'm like, yeah, let me go find that. So I went out there, found that line, and that's what it is. So this comes directly out of the well, which is nice to know that our sprinkler system is in fact just on the well. So I got that turned off. The water's not shooting out. I'm gonna turn it on so it'll squirt some of the water out so I can get it cleaned up, getting any stuff in the inside or bad stuff out. But so you troubleshoot, you isolate, sectionalize, and you can finally deduce where the problem is. Again, I knew it was outside. I just didn't know where. Once we found it, isolated it, cut off the water. The rest of the house has water, so it's not an emergency. But I've watched a bunch of videos. Yeah, I'm not an expert. I am an engineer from Georgia Tech, so I should be able to figure this out. I know I got to clear this out, make a nice little area. They talk a lot about not getting dirt back into the pipe. So what I'm going to do is actually put a towel down so that it's got a clean area underneath it. And then I'll put all the pieces back together. So I'll go to Home Depot, get the right parts, and I'll take you along for the journey. It shouldn't be terrible, but I've never done this before. And the hardest part to me is how do you fit things together back perfectly when they're almost lined up already? So how do you create the space? And they always say, be careful, lift up. I'm gonna try something a little bit different. We'll see. Anyway, that's it. That's what we're doing today. Troubleshooting 101, fixing a leaky pipe. I'm gonna use these gardening tools right here to clean this guy out a whole lot better so I can get in there. You do need to be careful when you dig because see right there, there's some sort of cable. I think that's too big, I think, to be a guide wire, but it is running next to the pipe. Though I know there is some communication going to the garage, though I think that goes through the breezeway. Anyway, be super careful when you're digging. You don't want to create more problems than you solve. And I'm gonna clean this bad boy up and I'll show you what it looks like. There we go, much cleaner. And there's about, I don't know, about that much of a section that's cracked. So you can kind of see the line right there. I got some dirt on it. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that bad boy out, and then I'll take the pipe to the store and I'll get the pieces that's the right size for it. And I'll probably pause for the day because it's Georgia and it's getting really freaking hot and the mosquitoes are getting me. So it's not an emergency, so it can be a slow, methodical process. But if you create a clean area, it'll make this a whole lot easier to work with. Another thing that people don't really talk about too much is you need to have your tools clean. So if you use them and they get dirty, like these guys just did, then rinse them off. I mean, don't let them sit there grossed up. That guy right there is probably gonna be unusable if I don't go clean it. But if I rinse them with a hose, everything will be good. So take the time to take care of your tools. Good reason for making this guy with a pretty deep trench is I'm gonna try this saw. I got a smaller one, but I think this would be a little bit faster. So I'm just going to cut a little bit past the bad sections on each side of this fence. That's it. So when I cut this side off, it just dropped straight out. It wasn't just a little bit of a crack, it was an entire split. So you can see the cut goes to about right there, or the split. So I got about 2 inches behind it. This guy, I got about 2 inches behind that one. I'll get some sandpaper and smooth this guy out, and then get enough pipe to fix that. It feels like pretty light PVC. Now it is just sprinkler, so it's low pressure. It's probably fine, but knowing me, I will overbuild, overbuy, and overprotect this area right here. All right, I got my parts from Home Depot, 1-inch pipe here, and I'm gonna cut it shorter than the brake because I gotta put these fittings on. And the one thing that I think I'm gonna try, I saw in the video, is I'm going to get this middle connector section out. That way I can slide it off and on. I don't have to bend the pipe. This pipe is thinner than the pipe I bought, which is fine. It's just a sprinkler system, but I feel like it's very brittle, so I don't want to bend this guy, the parts that aren't broken. So I'm just gonna cut this guy down a little bit short, and then I'm gonna take a sandpaper and get that guy cleaned out. All right, trying to keep it all clean. Put a little plastic bag down to keep the dirt off. Got it wiped down a couple times, letting it dry. Use the sandpaper on the ends to get the rough bits out. I only have one hand, so I can't show you how I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna put the purple on the inside and down there, and then put this guy on the cement, and then put this coupler on and give it a turn. Actually, before I do that, I'll put this guy on and get him ready to go. And then the last thing I'll do is get this guy set up and ready to go. Okay, there it is. I ended up sanding out the middle of it because I just could not bend that pipe enough. So the sanding did work, and I didn't think it would go all the way through, but once I did the primer and the glue, the cement or whatever, it got very lubricated, and I was able to push it on, slide this. So I pushed the sleeve on all the way back, slid this guy down, set it in place, pulled it down, and then gave it some rotation. So now it's just here to let it dry, and then I'll turn the water on, and we'll leave it like this for 24 hours and see if there's any leaks. All right, I turned the water on. I don't see any leaks. I got the paper towel here. I'm gonna run over it with this paper towel, and then I'll let it stay like this for a day, and then I'll bury it back up.